Welcome to episode number 95 of the Beyond Social Media Show, the podcast for marketing, advertising, public relations, and communications professionals. We're recording live on Google Hangouts on air on May 9, 2015. I am David Erickson, your co-host, and I'm going solo right now. BL has strained her back, picking up her dog, and she is racing her way back from the chiropractor, so she will likely join us midstream, but for now you've got me solo, and as a result, comment tracker is not working because BL does that. I don't know how to do that, and too much to handle doing the show without tracking comments, so I apologize for that. Maybe we'll have it when BL gets back. Anyway, worst stories of the week. Master of your political domain, ? Twitter ads in porn. Nationwide CMO steps down. In the best category, we have Twitter coming to Google soon. BuzzFeed's Pound Tool. Taylor Swift music posters, Facebook API update, Google Plus collections, and drone puppies. Yes, drone puppies. In shiny new stuff, we have howold.net and LinkedIn Post Analytics. We wrap it up with some daily numbers about mobile news traffic. I am David Erickson. As I said, you can find me on Twitter at @DErickson. I blog at e-strategyblog.com, and my agency's blog, creativepr.com/blog. You can find the show at BeyondSocialMediaShow.com. Our Twitter account is at Beyond Social Media. You can subscribe to our email news update at BeyondSocialMediaShow.com/newsletter, and do so you don't miss a post, don't miss an episode. We have exclusive content in there that we don't include in the show, stories we didn't get to on the show, as well as some other cool stuff, so definitely subscribe to that. So I'll kick it off with the worst. BL always has the honors, but she's gone, so I'm going to steal the honors from her this week. Carly Fiorina has failed. She launched her presidential political ambitions as for the Republican ticket, and she did an announcement. She's got a website, but she failed to register all of her domains, one of which is the .org site. So carlyfiorina.org is not registered, and somebody else did register it. So when you go to the site, you see this. So this is the wording of the person who registered the site, put up a page that says, so I'm using it to tell you Carly Fiorina failed to register this domain. So I'm using it to tell you how many people she laid off at Hewlett-Packard. You'll know that Carly Fiorina was a executive at Hewlett-Packard. It was this money, the website says, and then you scroll through a page full of frowny face emoticons, just scrolling through this page of frowny face emoticons. And at the bottom of the page, after you scroll through all those frowny face emoticons, it resumes the dialogue. It says, that's 30,000 people she laid off, people with families. And what does she have to say that she would have done differently? Quote unquote, I would have done them all faster. And then it ends with Carly Fiorina. So, yeah, that's what happens when you don't register all your domains when you're a politician. And so my advice to all you politicians, budding politicians everywhere, seriously, buy your domain names. When you're starting out as a young politician, the young Democrats or young Republicans or young whatever political party you are affiliated with, if you want a political career, go and buy your domain names, all variations of your domain names. Vote for your name. Everything, I hate your name, whatever it is, buy them all up. They're not that expensive, even for a young person getting started. And you will have them, and you will keep this from happening because it happens over and over again. So buy your domain name, or somebody else will. Your opponent will, and they'll take advantage of it and embarrass you the way Carly Fiorina has done. It has been embarrassed, and as many politicians before her have been embarrassed as well. I kind of think that your failure to secure a domain name of your own name, if you're a politician, might be a disqualifier for the presidency. Just my take, especially if you're running as a techno-savvy candidate, such as Carly Fiorina is. since BL's not here, I'm not going to cover her worst stories, and we may do some backfilling when she gets here. So we're just sort of going by ad hoc broadcaster. I am going to take one of her stories though. She had in Best the Google Twitter update is going to hit. So as we've talked about in previous podcasts, Google has done a deal with Twitter, so they're going to include tweets in the search results. They do index tweets currently before this deal, but not nearly the volume that they could. And in fact, back in 2009, they had a deal in place with Twitter where they got access to the Twitter Firehose and indexed a ton of tweets. And it was super cool the way they did that. You could actually, when you search for breaking news or something that a lot of people were talking about on Twitter, and search for that in the search results, you'd actually see the live feed of tweets regarding that topic. They even had a timeline tweet tool where you could watch how people reacted to something that was in the news or a popular event like a TV show over time by the minute. So you could actually drill down into tweets by the minute and see what people were saying as they were like watching a television show or a sports broadcast or something like that. It was fascinating. It was a great focus group tool. I can imagine that, the people who are putting on dramas on TV were paying close attention to that to see how people were reacting to their shows and learning from that. So this month in May, Twitter is going to start, or Google is going to start indexing more tweets, and so that's going to have a profound effect on public relations in particular. You think about crisis, breaking news. You think about reputation management, all that kind of stuff. You want to, if you're not using Twitter, you really should have been several years ago. But if you're still not using it, now's the time to start getting active on it. It will be interesting to see how Google implements it this time. There's no hint of how they're going to do it, so it's unpredictable about what exactly it's going to look like. But the fact that more tweets are going to be indexed and show up in search results, you can bet on. So that will be fun to watch, and it's going to happen sometime this month. Another story, and I'll have BL expand on this because she wrote a blog post about it. But Google introduced Google Plus Collections this week. It's a new way of curating content on your Google Plus account. So basically, it's kind of Pinteresty in a way. You can add links to whatever based around a topic. So I created a Google Plus collection for podcasts, and I'm going to list all the marketing podcasts that I listen to in that collection. And people can follow collections. You can share collections. And you don't need to be registered with Google Plus to see the collections, to find the content. So it'll be interesting to see how this rolls out. And I'll be paying close attention to whether it has any implications for search visibility. So whether these Google Plus collections get better search visibility. Google often does this with their algorithm. They introduce a new major updates and will promote it basically by giving it more visibility in search. What drives me nuts about Google in particular, and it's the same thing for this Google Plus collections, is their URL structure. They just have wonky URLs. Typical URLs have keywords in it related to the topic that you're sharing on the page. But Google doesn't do that. Perhaps it's because of their experience with spam and people using spammy keywords in their content. But they know they've been dealing with spam for a long time, so they know how to deal with that too. I just would like cleaner URLs than what Google is giving us, but that's my complaint anyway. A cool development that I came across this week, thanks to my friend Eric Hansen, hat to him and his excellent Talking Points newsletter, is BuzzFeed's Pound tool. So BuzzFeed has announced a new tool. This is from a Content.ly article by Joe Lazaskis, I think. I apologize for mangling your name, Joe. But is a great rundown of this tool. So BuzzFeed is notorious for their content R&D. They do a lot of research and development over content and how content spreads, what makes effective content. They do a lot of A/B testing on many different elements of their content to see what works and what doesn't. They're infamous for testing like 25 variations of a headline. They actually have brainstorming sessions for each article and come up with 25 different headlines to find one that works best, and then they'll do testing. So this Pound tool is proprietary technology. Pound stands for Process for Optimizing and Understanding Network Diffusion. And so the point of this is to understand how content spreads. So the tool illustrates how content spreads, quote, from one, this is a quote from the article, from one sharer to another through all the downstream visits, even across social networks and one-to-one sharing platforms like GChat and email. So they're not just social, but dark social too. So email and GChat and things you don't typically get metrics for, this tool apparently will be able to understand, or does understand. So you'll be able to track from the original share how content spread to other channels. BuzzFeed itself has identified potential uses for this tool, and these are verbatim what they're identifying. Can we propose stories that will appeal not only to you but also to your friends and followers? Can we use Pound data to power A/B tests? Can we make the site and apps better not just for readers but for their friends, and thereby increase the impact of our site? How effective are specific promotions, not just based on first order traffic, but on all of the downstream sharing traffic that results? Can we predict the potential reach of a story based on its content or other features about it? So based on the topic of the content, or even perhaps the format. So, you know, BuzzFeed is famous for the listicle format. They've perfected the listicle, maybe not perfected it, but they've innovated the listicle format, and it's proven to be a very viral type of format of content. And so they're looking at, this tool could look at potential just the formatting issues and what makes for a more viral story that way. Can we filter out the effect of big sites or celebrities promoting our content, learn what average people actually like, and produce more of the right content for everyone? So with celebrities, with big sites that share stories, there's the mass effect, right? They have huge audiences, and does that distort the perceived popularity of a site, of a given article, simply because somebody with a huge following, a celebrity or a major website, is sharing it? So those are some of the things that they're looking at using Pound for. But obviously, this is a huge boon to advertisers to understand how your content will spread using this type of an analytic tool. And BuzzFeed is also famous for creating branded content that spreads. Dear Kitten videos are for I forget the advertiser, but the Dear Kitten videos are an example of that. So if you can go to an advertiser and say, we know based on our analytics that this type of a story will take off among these audiences, among your target audiences, then who's not going to pay for that, right? So this is really, this BuzzFeed tool is really a predictive, you've heard of predictive analytics. This is a predictive content type of tool. Very cool development, and it'll be fascinating to watch how they use that, and whether they open up that to advertisers. I imagine they're going to start with they are going to start with beta testers and huge advertisers. But if they open up to the rest of us peons, I'd love to get my hands on that tool. It'd be cool to play around with. So next of my best stories, I mentioned several episodes ago that I am not a Taylor Swift fan. And I still am not a Taylor Swift fan of her music, not particularly enamored with her music, but I am becoming a fan of her marketing. So several episodes ago, we talked about her marketing prowess, and here's another instance of that. Taylor Swift's music video is being teased with posters that she's sharing online, particularly through her Twitter account. So they are posters for the music video Bad Blood, which is from her recent or latest 1989 album. The music video will premiere on May 17 at the Billboard Music Awards. And these posters are sort of Sin City style posters. The artwork is sort of Sin City graphic novelist type of style of art. And it's featuring Lily Aldridge, Zendaya, Hayley Williams, and Swift herself in the posters, and they are like movie posters. Each of these people, Lily Aldridge, Zendaya, Hayley Williams, and Swift herself, are characters, are portrayed as characters in these film posters, basically. But they're movie posters. So take a look at that. I've got a blog post. We'll put it in the show notes so you can see those posters. But it's a very clever way. These things have gotten huge retweets, a lot of mileage on social. So she's definitely building awareness for the premiere of her next music video. Very, very good. All right, so you know what? I am through with my good and bad stuff. We may just, depending on whether BL joins us, so we may just need to wrap this up soon and go on to next week because I'm on the shiny new stuff, and my shiny new thing is LinkedIn Analytics. So LinkedIn has bolstered their analytics. They are rolling out. This is according to a Marketing Land article by Martin Beck. They are rolling out this week analytics for people who are posting their content to Google Publisher or to LinkedIn Publisher. So the analytics that you'll get is the ability to view analytics by industry, by what people in industry are viewing your posts, by their location, by their job title. You'll get traffic source data. You'll get visitor behavior, so how they interacted with the article, and you can engage with people from the analytics as well, apparently. So for people who have interacted with your article itself, liked it, commented it, etc., you can engage with them there. BL has a couple of projects here. She has a guest post on her Innovera Communications blog, how your nonprofit can get big results by combining free marketing tools offered by Google and Amazon. And this is an excellent article. I've read it. It's an in-depth exploration of how nonprofits can use these free tools to get some great results. So definitely should read that. Those will be in the show notes. He also has a LinkedIn post on the business implications of Google Plus collections. So we'll include that link as well. And that's a great read. And then time for the daily numbers. I am really going through this podcast quickly, so it'll be a short one this week. Mobile news traffic. This is from ComScore, and it's talking about traffic to news sites. So mobile online traffic for news sites. 39 of 50 news sites get more traffic from mobile devices than from desktop computers. But for only 10 out of 50 of those news sites, mobile visitors spend more time per visit on the site than desktop visitors. So mobile news sites are not yet entirely mobile friendly, and people are spending more time on mobile. They're more time on page, more time on site through mobile. So it is super important for mobile, for news organizations, obviously, to get mobile friendly. A lot of it is legacy. They've got these legacy systems in place. Some newspaper sites, for example, are syndications of they're owned by a parent company, and the parent company offers the content management system. And if that content management system isn't up to snuff, then a bunch of newspapers that are part of that global organization are going to suffer as a result. And looks like we got BL.
Hi.
Hi, BL. I just wrapped up with the daily numbers.
Oh, you did? Well, hi everybody, and I'm so sorry. Oh well. Thanks for doing it, Dave.
Do you want to talk a little bit about the, I covered the Google Plus collections a little bit, but you obviously have played around with them a lot more.
Oh,
And
I
could offer
do.
some words.
Yes, yes. I believe that what we have is a new way of communicating that is different from Pinterest in terms of, I think of Pinterest as a place to observe as more than to interact. And here you can go very deep into any subject matter, and you are able to add posts that have already been written or write new posts into that collection. So I started a collection about collections, and I started a collection about the show, and I've just been adding to both of them. The one thing you do need to be careful of is apparently if you take a post out of the collection and you don't do it the right way, it takes it out of the original place as well. So you have to
Well,
click.
can you explain that a little bit more? I don't quite understand what that means.
Well, when you write, let's say you're writing an original post and you're
On Google Plus?
On Google Plus. It's always
okay.
On Google Plus. So you can bring in other posts by including their links, as you do in any Google Plus post. Okay, but you then have the option now to add it to a collection. So you can leave it in your stream and also add it to a collection where it will be public by default, and you are able to make it private or make it just for between certain circles. You have the option of who you'll share the content with, but it's public by default. So then if you take like let's say today's show, if we put that show into the Beyond Social Media show collection, and then say, oh, I don't want this in here, and just remove it, it'll take it out of the original place. So there's a link that you click that says remove from collection that leaves it in its original place. Clearly that's something that has to be fixed. This is a beta, and they are taking feedback. Certain things have been changed already, but the cool thing about it is that rumor has it that you'll be able to embed these collections into websites. And you have to be very careful what you name them, because it appears that the name will appear in search. So it couldn't have.
That was my next question. Is I didn't see how it was it's so new that I haven't really paid attention to what's its effect on search visibility will be. But you're saying the collection itself could show up in search results.
That's correct, but nobody knows yet because it was only launched on Tuesday. So the key thing is when you use them, and when you use Google Plus in general, there's on the lower left side of any page a place for feedback, and they are taking this feedback seriously. But what I think about collections is that this is a huge update for Google Plus. So it clearly indicates that Google Plus is changing, but it is not going away. We know that for sure.
Yeah, it's kind of a different I mean, back in the day, I used Delicious extensively for saving stuff.
Yes.
As a reference, basically as an online bookmark system. It still exists. It's still great. I just have gotten out of the habit of using it.
I used Digo.
Yeah, but this seems like sort of a more social version of bookmarks.
Well, it's a much more social version, but it allows you to go very deep into a particular subject. If you wanted to talk guitars, for example, you can pull videos from YouTube into it. I mean, it has many elements that are different than existing platforms where you compile stuff. And you're able to tell a story with it. I'm not certain that you can arrange it in the order that you want. It seems to be chronological. You know, there are definite, I mean, they just put it out there. This is how they launch new features. They just put it out, they take feedback, and they change it. So you can expect that it'll be changing over the next couple of weeks because it's Google, you know. That's what they do. So anyway, I am extremely sorry that I missed so much of the show, but I am Benny and I are both on the injured list. I hurt myself trying to help Benny into a cab. So we're a mess over here.
No. You want to talk about your Innovair post? I mentioned it, but
Oh, thank you. Yes, I guest posted for a client, Innovair Communications, and what I noticed was that there are some wonderful tools that both Google and Amazon make available to nonprofits, and there's absolutely no reason you can't combine those. So by combining, for example, Amazon's wish list, a charity could say, we need sleeping bags and we need flashlights and whatever Amazon sells can be on a wish list. And then people are given the option of donating from the wish list. Well, how do you get people to the wish list? You, as a nonprofit, you're entitled to receive a certain amount of Google ad dollars, depending on your size and budget, but that can be $10,000 a month, which is not a small amount. And so if you combine what Google offers with what Amazon offers, you can create a marketing program using them to do the heavy lifting. You can also have, there is a new sweepstakes feature that Amazon makes available to nonprofits, and you are able then to pick the items in the sweepstake, and the only thing, and they run the contests, they do everything, they set up the landing pages, they do all of the heavy work that most nonprofits don't have the staff to do, and then you're able to promote what they do with Google. How cool is that? So it's a creative combination of wonderful tools, and it should give smaller nonprofits a real leg up in the marketing arena.
Very cool. And finally, I did not talk about your shiny new object. So you want to talk? You want to spend a minute on that?
My shiny new object. As soon as I find it, I will talk about it.
Well,
1 second while I find my shiny new object. I found. Did you talk about the flying dogs?
The drone dogs? No, I didn't.
Oh, well, let's talk about same-day puppies. This is such a clever campaign by the Humane Society of the United States. They're telling you that you can get drone delivery of puppies the same day that you order one, and you can get it from trusted breeders. And when you click on Find a Puppy, it says never buy a puppy from a breeder online. Go to a shelter and buy a shelter pet. But they have these funny videos of puppies flying in to homes, and you become outraged until you finally click on, what is this about? Find a puppy. And then it says, never find a puppy online. It's brilliant.
So they aren't actually delivering them via drones.
They're just want to get you in there. Oh, I know what we were talking about. We were talking about howold.net.
Yeah. I
love howold.net. You you go to howold.net and you and you put a picture of yourself, and it has some algorithm that tells you how old it thinks you are. And depending on the results, some people are totally outraged. And me, I was happy. It thought I was 40. Like, okay, fine. Thank you. I love you. But it's how-old.net. And, you can't not do it.
All right. I'm going to have to do that. I'm kind of reticent, but I'll have to do that. So, that wraps up this week's 95th episode of Beyond Social Media Show. As usual, we'll have all the links to the show, the stuff that we talked about at the show notes at beyondsocialmediashow.com/95. Let us know what you think of the show. If you love it, if you don't like it, we don't want to know that too, and what you don't like about it. But you can leave a review at beyondsocialmediashow.com/love. I'm David Erickson. You can find me at Erickson on Twitter, e-strategyblog.com, and I write for my agency blog at creativepr.com/blog. BL you can find at What's Next on Twitter. Her blog is what'snextblog.com, and she is on maximum-plus.com. That's her company where you can hire her for all things Google Plus and video. And you can find the show at beyondsocialmediashow.com. We are on Twitter at BS Media Show. And to subscribe to our email newsletter, beyondsocialmediashow.com/newsletter, where you'll get exclusive content, stuff we haven't talked about, and you won't miss an episode of the podcast. So thank you for watching. Until next week. Wait, we're on Facebook, too. We're on Facebook as well. Facebook.com/beyondsocialmediashow. Thanks for watching. Thanks a lot.